Talk to me about stand-up then. Let's shift a little bit. Talk to me about stand-up. What inspired you to start stand-up? What do you love about stand-up? Why do you do it?
I just have this drive right now to express myself. And I'm kind of just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
I like stand-up because funny things happen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the ability to express those things and, see how people receive it and just be on stage. And I think it's fun and exciting. And I think it makes my life more interesting because, instead of, it almost makes me more receptive to like that something funny happened today. Like I'm gonna write about that. Or the situation happened. It's like, it makes you observe. And that's the same is true for like the morning pages. It makes you pay more attention to life, and it makes life more interesting.
Do you have any comedians that you like that you wanna?
I'll be honest with you. I am so like attention deficient.
You don't even watch
that like, and it's true even for like poetry and like what I really enjoy going to watch it in person, but like to sit down on my computer and watch it, I can sometimes do it, but rarely. So they're really good comedy open nights that some of them are. There's one that's free that's really good in Angel. It's like the Bill Murray, and they have another pub where they do, and everyone there is really good, and it's very cool. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know that many. Yeah,
I mean, I love stand-up. I love comedy. I always so I have this friend, Mikey. I'm always telling him, shout out Mikey. I'm always telling him he should do comedy because like I think he's hilarious, just naturally funny. I just like being around funny people. I think life is just so much more enjoyable with people who can notice a thing and then point it out in the most hilarious way.
Yeah,
it makes you see that thing too, because like I'll just be going back and forth with him like, yeah, that's so funny, and it's like you're like sharing an inside joke, but it's like the whole world, because people are just hilarious. People just do the most funniest stuff if you're just willing to see it.
Yeah,
if you're willing to look at it properly, and it's like. Yeah, no, I think it's so I think it's so much takes so much confidence to actually go up there on that stage, like you're mentioning, to perform it, because you are right. The comedy audiences are cutthroat. They don't care. They just want to be, and it's like comedy is almost subjective, but not really in their eyes. It's like there is something that you can say that's funny and something you can say that's not funny, but almost like you also have to test that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that been like, going on stage and testing something out that you think is funny, but like you don't know if they think it's funny?
I haven't done it enough to be able to give you a response on that, but I definitely think it's like I was talking about someone last night. It's like there are so many different ways that you can tell a story, and whether it's what thing you focus on, or even how you like pronounce the last word. Do you pause beforehand? Do you there's so many different ways that you can do it. And that I think a lot of comics, especially big comics, they're just, they have a lot of sets. They might even be making the same jokes, throughout their sets, but they're changing slight things to find what works. But yeah, I haven't done it enough to be able to speak to that.
Could you say what the process is like to go from seeing bunch of girls at McDonald's doing some funny stuff? You go, okay, how do I take this and turn it into a joke that I can perform on stage? What is that like? What's the step in your mind, in your way?
Yeah. It's more like you have to get into the headspace, a creative headspace, where it's like that's just gonna it's just gonna come to you. So I'm not actually writing about, like, when when I with the McDonald's thing, I'm not actually writing about, like, my plan wasn't to have a funny situation with these people and then write about it. My plan was to have fun, like have fun with them, like, and get myself in that, like, mindset, and then in that mindset I knew I would write something good. And but it was specific to what I was writing about, which is not the people, or it has nothing to do with what that situation that just happened.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's about getting into a certain headspace where it's like, where creating something is like inevitable because you're just in that space.
It's almost like the importance of play in creativity. It's like we mentioned earlier, like that inner child. It's like getting yourself to get into position even as an adult where you can bring that feeling out,
for sure,
and then using that as a way, as a kind of a conduit to create something, because like that's probably when you're going to be at your most open and you're most like able to connect to a feeling within you. Because I feel like sometimes we kind of shut that down because we want to be more structured and, you know, kind of an adult, you know, but it's like, no, you actually need to like discover that playfulness that you had as a child to make anything that's worth.
You have to not think about, you just have to be exactly playful. And it's actually super hard to be playful, to learn to be playful if you're not used to it. So, you know, some people have been fucking around since they were 15. Like, I was watching a video of Tyler, the Creator, when he was like performing at his like middle school probably talent show, and he was like, you know, dancing, fucking around. And I was just like, well, yeah, obviously, you know, because he's just been fucking around for ages, and he's comfortable in that space, and he's comfortable in himself, and that's just what, you know. What he does, but for us people who are, for anyone who's trying to, wherever you're starting from, getting good at being playful is surprisingly hard, and you like avoid doing it. Like, artist dates are actually I think the thing that I think most people have the hardest time with. Like, I find it harder to keep the artist date than to do the morning pages, because I'll get caught up in like, no, you know, I should probably do this other thing that's like more serious or whatever. It's like you just won't be kind to yourself and generous with yourself, and you find it hard to like give yourself an hour in a week, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
You give like how many hours to
how many hours? Yeah, exactly.
I also think about how the other stuff that we do in our life contribute to creativity. So for me, for example, right, one of the ways I stay disciplined with everything I do, with the podcast, with poetry, is because I kind of look at it from the same lens I look at my jiu-jitsu training.